Oh yeah, we are live once again on a Friday evening.
Yeah, which
Um,
is weird.
thank you, thank you for spending this lovely time with us. You might notice something different. We're not in the studio.
Nope.
We are in the comfort of our own homes on Streamyard for the first time in a while. Um, hopefully, we don't f it up.
I hope not. Yeah,
If
we've
we're
no producer. We're
technically
producerless.
without producer. She'll be laughing at us in the chat,
hmm
won't she? Um, so, what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about the dandelion.
The Mandalorian,
Oh,
or yeah, producer says,
don't
don't
f it
f it
up.
up, don't f it up.
We're gonna try not to.
We'll do our best, our very best. Um, yeah, we're talking about the Dandalorian. Um,
Yes, we are.
this is a real advertisement from Disney.
Is it?
No alterations.
No, that looks about right. I think.
Okay. Um, so the Mandalorian, chapter 17.
Yeah. So excited. I've been
All
waiting
right.
for this for a while.
As have I. So something that I didn't make a clip for, but I should have.
Yeah.
Okay, is that we want to remind people that you might be a little lost if you do not watch the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Okay.
fair.
They're saying that a lot of people are a little confused if they've skipped Boba Fett, and I can see why, because you might be missing some key some key information there,
Oh yeah.
right?
There's definitely a solid 2 episodes that were dedicated just to the Mandalorian story,
I mean,
and
we
then
were calling it the Book of Mandalorian for a while.
yeah,
All right, so um,
that
if
tells
you
you.
haven't watched the Book of Boba Fett, go ahead and watch it before you watch um, the Mandalorian season 3. All
Yeah.
right. Um,
The
next,
apostate.
we're gonna have to issue a spoiler alert here.
Quite obviously.
Okay. Definitely going to be issuing some spoiler alerts
Ooh,
on
double
account
spoilers.
double spoiler alert. Okay, on account of the fact that we're going to spoil the crap out of this,
Oh, for sure.
right?
I'm.
Like we're definitely going to spoil the crap out of
We're gonna
this.
tell you all about this episode. So, if it's not spoiled for you, then I mean,
Yeah, so no apologies after that warning.
yeah, you get what you get.
All right. Where do we start with this episode? Like it's been a while.
Well, we get uh, a view of the Death Watch's kind of ceremonies and stuff because they're like a cultish Mandalorian sect that Din Djarin belongs to. And if you'll remember, Din Djarin, played by the amazing Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. Um, again, this is an actor that's just killing it right now.
Yeah, 2 massive monster shows that he's a part of.
There's he just popped out of nowhere and now he's in everything.
And
Right?
he's dreamy.
He is dreamy. I would have to agree with you on that one, right? So we've got the this ceremony, okay, and it starts out with, of course, the producer hasn't watched this, hence the fact that this is why she's not on the show,
Yeah.
because she was slacking. She's slacking in the Star Wars stuff. She loved Andor so much,
but didn't carry it on.
yeah. So again, we warned you about the spoilers, producer. She's making this helmet. There's a big Tony Stark in a cave atmosphere going on here.
funny. I actually that you say Tony Stark in a cave because I think I saw it brought up before that that's kind of like a John Favreau jam is to have that whole blacksmithing motif going on.
I think he even had the hammer noises continue over the credits and stuff, like the same way. Like if you put them back to back, I think you'll find a lot of similarities. And there's no way that's not intended for there to be a similarity, right?
For sure.
So she bangs out this helmet so that she can give it to this young lad. Who was he?
I don't actually remember his name in the show, but this is that is Jimmy Kimmel's son.
Oh, is it?
And he was actually in some of the like real life commercial things in WandaVision and stuff too.
I think I heard something about that.
Yeah, so he's like a little this new age of Disney star, I guess.
Well, I mean, you've already got a good start with being Kimmel's son, right?
That's fair.
So I got a question. I don't know if you can maybe help me with this.
Okay.
Now, this helmet, all
Yeah.
right, spoil me. Oh, we do spoil you.
Yeah, we do.
All right. Like it's bananas that you would even think that we didn't.
It is.
All right. This helmet was made
Yeah.
for this child. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And they place it on the child's head.
Yes.
And it just fits the child.
Yeah.
So, what happens when a Mandalorian child grows out of their helmet?
See, I was thinking about that too. While I was watching this,
Like,
and
it's either take your helmet off or get your head crushed
Well,
over time.
Once it gets tighter, here's my thought on it. Here's my theory.
Oh, theory time.
So
Theory time.
much like some Native American indigenous cultures, some of the children are given like this scrap of cloth at like the beginning of their life at their walking out ceremonies or something, that they do.
That's at
like
birth?
as like a no, when they get to walk for the first time. So they're given things like this scrap of cloth or some other items that they'll use throughout their life. And then that piece of cloth kind of carries on with them throughout their entire lifespan and eventually goes into like a tapestry for their passing. So I was wondering if in a reflection of that, if that Beskar that's in that helmet wouldn't be consistently recrafted to fit the child as it goes through like aging, different stages of life.
My problem with this theory is that you take a vow to never remove your helmet. You're
in the presence of another, so you could just pop a different helmet on or something, or cover your face or whatever. I guess
they can remove their helmet.
Well, you got to eat, man.
Well, yeah, this is. I'm thinking to myself, they got to stick a hose up their helmet just to get clean or something like that. Like, what happens when they all just took a bath?
They did, yeah.
Okay, it's gonna get skunky.
I would think
All
so.
Right? You gotta how long do you wear that thing without it getting you stick a couple of air fresheners up there or something
Yeah, that's a great question. But
I'm just thinking
they are allowed to take it off when they're not in the presence of others. That kind of leaves the question of when can they take those helmets off if, say, it needs to be bigger.
Yeah, somebody has to.
Maybe they put it in one of those little door.
We're spending way too much time on it. Maybe they throw a curtain around them or something like that.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Tosses the helmet out.
There's always been a little bit of stigma for me about how how this is all a thing, right? You know, because we deal with in this episode the continuation of his dishonorment from taking his helmet off.
Right.
Right. So it does beg the question for me. Okay.
Yes. I got it. I get it.
So during the ceremony, just before actually, he vows to never take his helmet off.
He doesn't make it to those words though, which I
No.
thought was really interesting. Because these Mandalorians are like adhering to these really old vows.
Mhm.
This kid doesn't actually get to finish saying that he's never going to take his helmet off.
Yeah. So
And
does
I
he
thought
ever
that was,
become a Mandalorian technically?
I would
Yet?
imagine.
No,
Yeah.
no. In this scene, I mean, I would imagine maybe they'd have a continuation of ceremony.
Unless they forget about it. But I thought I think it was put in that way on purpose, right? To reflect the fact that, you know, Din Djarin is currently essentially the potential leader of the Mandalorians in general because he has the Darksaber, so he could change our whole concept.
But at the same time, he is an apostate.
Right. Well, and I mean, it's been indoctrined, right? It's
Yeah, he's right now. He's a prostate.
He's a what?
Nothing.
Okay.
Anyway, we get interrupted by this turtle gator.
Mm-hmm. Turtle gator. That's what I called it too. Big hard shell gator.
This thing's massive.
I love it.
All right. Is this a new creature to the universe? Have you ever seen this?
Nothing that I've ever seen. And when I was kind of trying to look around and see like what it was or what it was called, it just said sea creature on a lot of things.
Because they got Lake Placid.
Yeah.
All up in their face now.
That's 2.0 Lake Placid even.
Yeah. And it's taking all of them to not take this thing down. Okay.
Well, yeah. They're like bombing it. They're sticking bombs to its back. Blast of fire doesn't mean much of anything to it.
It's quite the scene, actually.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable. But they get saved. They get saved by a familiar ship.
Yeah. DJ.
And he uses a super beam cannon.
No, he uses proton torpedoes.
Okay,
he used the same thing that took down the Death Star on this.
Yeah, that's what it took to take this thing down, which is pretty cool. Are you drinking Windex?
No, it's
I'm pretty sure you're drinking Windex.
It's like blueberry Kool-Aid-y kind of beverage. It looks suspicious. I understand, but no.
Who do we meet in the ship? None other than our two favorite heroes from this series.
Yeah.
Grogu.
Yeah. And, played by David Accord, by the way.
Nice. Did not know that.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Does he do the puppeteering?
I don't really know. When I was looking at things for Grogu, it just said David Accord played him, and I was like, does he make the squeaks?
Yeah. So yeah, they pop open the hood and you see Grogu pop up and Joel Miller.
Wait, no, it's not
Din Djarin.
Yeah, Din Djarin.
Our favorite not so Mandalorian right now.
Yeah. Well, he's still a Mandalorian. He's just not a Death Watch Mandalorian.
So he still keeps his Mandalorian.
Well, he would think that he's not a Mandalorian.
Status?
He thinks that he's not a Mandalorian.
Yeah, he's dishonored them.
Yeah.
All right.
Death Watch are a bunch of like crazy SOBs.
Yeah.
They're like never mind.
What are they like?
They're like kind of like Catholics.
Okay, no, stop.
Okay.
Stop. I shouldn't have asked. I should not have asked. So
And
he's
we're
been
canceled.
Yeah, we're okay. If we haven't been canceled thus far, I think we'll be fine,
Yeah, we should be okay.
right? What
So
happens
yeah,
next?
when he gets there, he there's the whole he rescues him up, but he still comes in, and the armorer says that he's still dishonored and all of these other things, and he's not a Mandalorian, etc. So they have to have like a brief conversation about it. But I think the important piece in their conversation was that when he had a shard from Mandalore, there was still a piece of a like scripture or tablet in there, which kind of meant that that Mandalore maybe hadn't totally turned to glass,
and less poisonous than previously believed.
Yeah.
Now, this means now he got this off a trader of some
Yeah.
sort.
Yeah.
Which means somebody had been to Mandalore.
Yeah, I went and
since it
checked
was
out.
since it was crystallized.
Mhm. Mhm.
Right? Somebody found this. So somebody went there and came back safely.
Yeah.
That's his plea, is that if he can go there and he can bathe in the, what are they?
It's the magical waters beneath the mines of Mandalore.
Then he can be redeemed.
I don't know if they were magical, but I mean, there's a lot of like.
There's something to say about that. There's got, some people. Hey, what's up? What's up, Mr. Derek?
Hey, thanks for joining us, man.
What is shaken?
You can't say what's shaken. That's copyrighted now.
Yeah, it's actually stolen and then copywritten.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Derek, if you're not familiar with the Mandalorian, there's going to be some spoilers here for you.
Yeah.
Like we've said, there will be some spoilers.
Right.
So I was just going to hit that. You beat me to it, man.
Hey, I'm on it. Without a producer, I have to step up to the plate.
Yeah, that means we're going to be overproducing because we're both going to try to do it. All right. Where were we?
Piece of glass. Somebody went there, got scripture. He's got to go bathe in the rivers of time.
In the pools of Mandalore, under Mandalore, I believe.
Beneath the mines.
Beneath the mines. All right. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, the place was exploded pretty much.
Yeah. So the Empire just straight up bombed the planet, and
the Empire did strike back.
Their goal is to make a planet totally uninhabitable with these bombs that essentially turn like the soil, the sand and stuff to glass so that nothing can live there. Because they're assholes.
They're just a bunch of J-holes.
J-holes.
So am I mistaken if I'm talking about the time travel yet?
The time travel?
The warp drive. The time travel. It was not time travel. Well, I mean, it was time travel. It was just they were traveling to the future.
Yes.
At a roughly regular time.
The Mandalorian and Grogu, Baby Yoda, are ripping through hyperspace.
Yeah, see, now I didn't know what these were at first.
I immediately got super excited during this scene. So these are purgils, which are like space whales, kind of.
Yeah.
And whenever I see purgils, my immediate thought is Ezra Bridger from Rebels. At the the last bit of Rebels, we see Ezra and Grand Admiral Thrawn getting ripped across space basically by purgils and stuff. So this is a lot of foreshadowing for the Ahsoka series that's coming up. And then I mean, it's basically it almost spells out for me that we're gonna get Ezra Bridger in Ahsoka at least, but it might just be one of those things that they threw into the Mandalorian to kind of make us think about that Ahsoka series that's coming up. But
So do you think that
if
maybe
we
it's a
got,
bit of a teaser?
I think it is. If we got Ezra Bridger in the Mandalorian somehow, like even like a brief cameo, I would lose my mind. Ezra is one of my favorite Jedi. He's not. He was trained by a Padawan and stuff. So, unless you've watched Rebels, you
Yeah,
wouldn't
see,
get the full
I'm not even through
Clone Wars.
Clone Wars. So like I'm just finishing up Clone Wars. So I've not yet been that far into the animated series.
Sorry.
So this was a little bit tough for me, this one.
Yeah. So I
Um,
was right away. I was like nudging Teresa, who was beside me, and she went on that whole journey with me when I decided that we were gonna watch every piece of canon.
That's
That
what
they
I tried to
brought
do, but
out.
there is so much.
Especially when you hit Clone Wars. Clone Wars is a long ride.
It's overwhelming, honestly. Like
It's
I wish
worth
I had done it from the start,
yeah.
and it wouldn't have been such a task, you know. So,
Like currently I'm hitting the Harry Potter series again right now, which is a task, and then I'm gonna hit the MCU again, which is
oh, the
another
MCU is a big one too.
massive task.
I'm on a Harry Potter kick, kind of because of the Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to check out some gameplay from me on the Nerdy
Oh.
Couch Gaming channel, go ahead.
Shameless plug.
You can also check out some okay content on Grimm's gaming channel.
It's
You know,
I haven't done anything in a while.
also
guy.
the producer has a channel, and
Yeah.
Lydell something of or other, and she'll leave a link down below. So yeah, do that. Shameless plugging there. Also take a look down below. Facebook group. Go ahead and join it. Link down below.
Please come and join it. It's a great group. We do a lot
This
of memeing and all of those kinds of things on there. It's fun.
yeah, we have fun. All right. I had to take a snap of this because it's just kind of cute. It's
It is.
adorable.
Yeah.
This is right after the scene where he's looking at the warp whales.
Yeah.
All right. And he just kind of, you know, he's having a fun time with them, and then he goes, I don't want nothing to do with it. Comes down, has a snuggle.
You know what I thought was interesting about that whole piece too, by the way, is that we know Grogu can communicate with
Force sensitive, right?
Well, he's force sensitive, but he communicated with the Rancor before, which
You're right.
I'm wondering what he would have gathered from those Purgils, and whether that's kind of gonna link into the Ezra story as well.
Yeah, definitely communicating in some way.
Yeah.
Right. But then I get the feeling like he was just like, no,
I don't have time for that. I'm a Mandalorian now.
Goes down
the shirt.
Yeah, he definitely like is choosing the way of the Mandalorian over that, right?
Yeah.
They are warping somewhere though.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So they're traveling to Navarro.
I love the Navarro transformation is amazing.
For sure. And if anybody remembers what it used to look like, it was like a wasteland.
Yeah, it was basically like it felt like a volcanic Tatooine spaceport kind of thing.
It didn't feel like it. It was.
Yeah. It was just
like you can see in some of these pictures, and if you pay attention, that a lot of the buildings and stuff are actually built on old volcanic rock, right? Like parts of their city are built on it.
Yeah. Do you think
right?
Do you think Dave like started the city?
Dude, I was gonna say it, but I felt stupid. All right. I felt silly, and then you did it. So I'm glad. I am actually quite glad that you said that.
Yeah.
So if anybody gets that reference,
Leave a comment.
yeah. So he goes there
Yes.
to meet this man.
Yes. It's like the scenery. If it'd be cool if we had at some point some side by sides of like pre and post Navarro.
Yeah, definitely.
And kind of got to look at the before and after. But Grief Karga, played by Carl Weathers, I think, is the I'm feeling like he's a self-proclaimed high magistrate of
He seems
Navarro.
to definitely have given himself that title.
Because he has to remind the droid that it's high magistrate.
Well, he has to remind everybody.
Yeah.
Right. The scenes when they're walking through the city is just there's just like something majestic about it.
Oh, for sure.
Right. Right down from like the street food, like that chef bot.
Yes.
Down to the I can't remember what the monkeys are called that are in the tree there.
Kowakians,
Yeah.
like monkey lizard dudes.
It's just kind of cool seeing them in a different way than we've seen them before. Like,
being roasted,
and even when they weren't being roasted, we only seen them stationary as like puppeteers.
Yeah, well, and they were being jerks as a pet of
yeah. Well, I think they're still jerks.
Well, they kind of look like jerks.
Yeah.
Also, we got I'm always excited to see a Mon Calamari in anything.
Yeah, I don't really have
Admiral Akbar.
Yeah,
it's a trap. So there's one of them, like they just kind of throw it in there, but there's one just kind of walking.
And then I always like when they throw in another version of a C-3PO type deal, like
yeah,
it's just kind of cool because you always see it and you always think C-3PO, but then it's not, obviously.
And I think did we get two? Like there was a all white one that was
and then one with the different head.
Yeah, and then maybe there was three. Oh, so that one wasn't. That was a different
model,
droid.
Obviously.
But the other one that I'm talking about that was like a 3PO model was the school teacher thing, which was like a black.
I'm actually a little bit upset.
Why?
That there wasn't very many curvy bots in this.
Yeah. Yeah. I suppose there wasn't.
Yeah, I didn't see any curvy bots.
You like a lot of curves on your droids, I know.
Yeah, I like my droids to be curvy. You know, to be fair, that droid was less than curvy.
Yeah, when we really had to look at it, it was shaped like one of those things, those kids' toys that are like
those wobble things.
Yeah, where you punch it and it pops back up.
That's a throwback for the show.
Yeah. Check those out. They're great.
Now oh yeah, she remembers. Do you want to talk about IG
11? They have a wicked bronzed, like partially bronzed statue of him from what parts they could find from him self-destructing. IG's an assassin droid that got turned nanny. I loved this droid and was super upset, as I think a lot of people were, that he ended up going the way he went.
His sacrifice will always be remembered.
Yeah, and I mean it's bronzed right there.
Yeah. So am I to believe that they're not? It's not all of his parts there. Some of that has been fabricated.
Yeah, we've got. I think they show
most
it
of the upper body.
I think they show it later after they
where it's been pillaged.
Yeah.
To
he's got that one arm.
Reason.
I don't have a pointer, but that one arm that's on the hip is still there, and the legs, but the other pieces are kind of been salvaged.
Yeah. So if we go back just a moment before
Mhm.
we talk about IG too much, well, when Karga is talking to Din,
Yeah.
he's offering him to stay.
Yeah.
He wants him to stay, enjoy the hot springs, take the helmet off, and you know what better reason than to just take Grogu and live your life out here,
Yeah. I
right?
thought that was because he's such a sneaky dude and you kind of figure it out after, but he's
Yes,
offering him like parcels of land that he can mine and this and that where he can just kind of settle down. But then
and
we
that later on you find out his true intention.
yeah, we're like, "Oh, just kidding. I want you to beat the sheriff around here." So,
Yeah. So at one point, it's just put your weapon, put your
yeah,
blaster down,
just put that down.
relax. And then as they're walking through town, look, pick your blaster up and use it for me. All right.
Yeah, because they need a sheriff.
Yeah. Um, so IG is now a statue. He's taken down. They want to.
Yeah,
Din wants to reboot him,
fix him up.
fix him up. Okay, and um, I could not get any good pictures because, like, let's be fair. Sometimes pictures just do not justify a scene.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay,
And for the IG attack scene,
the they try to boot him back up. Dinja, Dinja,
Dinja.
yeah, that's if when he becomes a ninja.
Yeah.
Um, he tries to boot him up himself, and it goes terribly wrong.
Yes. I like you get like 80s Terminator vibes when he's doing the crawl around on the
Definitely,
floor and stuff
definitely.
like that. It's such a cool scene and it's I don't know if they use like stop motion for that scene, but it felt like stop motion and it added a like a creepy
I
like
think
sinister vibe to the whole thing.
I think they definitely dropped the frame rate down a bit,
Yeah.
which gave it that stop motiony feeling, and it just works with scenes like that,
And
right?
it's a great throwback to like
When they did it in earlier movies.
yeah, in the original trilogy when they oh my gosh, I just broke my chair. Um yeah, when they did it with like the AT-ATs or the ATSTs and stuff like that back in the original trilogy, it felt like the same kind of jam.
Yeah, so this scene, essentially what's happening is he tries to reboot him, he powers him up, and he's reverted back to his original programming,
Yeah,
right?
which is
Where he's a
kill
death
the ba-
machine,
kill the baby.
his original orders, right?
Yeah.
And then they do everything to stop him, and it happens to just be that the droid drops a statue on him.
Yeah, the one that you said is like a C3PO but
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
Now, Din needs IG 11.
Well, I don't
To
know that he needs him. He just really wants him.
he really he wants him for sure. Does when he wants to boot him up back or boot him back up, he says in the street, he said, "I can't handle him
Yeah.
with all of his appendages, all of his limbs."
Yeah.
So when we boot him up this time, he cannot have his original programming and his original orders, right? So they have to resort to other means, obviously, right? So he's
I
taken to the tiny hut.
I love these guys too. Yeah.
Who are these little guys?
They're Anzellans. I don't know that we've met them really other than was it Rise of Skywalker
Yeah,
with
briefly when
Babu
he's trying to fix C3PO, right? Is that
that
little guy?
that might be right, yeah. So that's Babu Frick, um, who was voiced by Shirley Henderson, who I
You got
was
all the
reading
info, eh?
I do, who voiced these little guys, but
Oh yes,
also
yes.
because we were talking about Harry Potter, Shirley Henderson is the actress that played Moaning Myrtle.
Moaning Myrtle
Yeah.
in her toilet. Now she acted all of these then.
Yeah, she's the voice for, I guess she's just the voice of Ellens at this point.
Yeah. It is kind of neat seeing Din just kind of huddled up there in this thing where the door didn't even look like it would fit him.
Yeah, I didn't think he was getting in. They must
Like, I
have
don't know
like
how
a
he got in
service
there,
bay.
right? They're gonna fix it up, but they can't resort it. They can't fix him without a new chip, essentially.
Yeah.
Right, or else he's gonna revert back to
murder, death, kill.
murder,
Yeah.
death, kill. You know, unaliving things.
If you get that reference, you're a child of the 90s.
Yeah. And as they're trying to fix it up, we get the cutest thing in the world.
Yeah. That's 100% pure adorable. You can't beat that with kittens.
No.
And I don't suggest ever beating anything with kittens. Just
yeah, that's not condoned on the Nerdy Couch channel at all. Please do not beat kittens or beat things with kittens.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right.
Yeah.
Smarten up. All right. But Grogu is trying to what is he trying to do?
I think he loves that thing. He just wants a pet.
Like he's trying to get at them all.
I think Din Djarin even says, no, like that's not a pet. You can't
have him.
Can't take that.
You know, see the thing is that this little guy's prone to just eating things.
Yeah.
So I was worried at first he was going to try to nibble on him.
Speaking of eating things,
you, my friend, just had an epiphany of some sort.
Well, I just realized that we forgot to talk about in that scene where Din is being offered parcels of land and this and that. We get that picture of Grogu chilling in the chair and using the Force to just kind of like be a child and spin the chair around, and he's hanging out, and then he Force grabs some random snacks on the table.
The Reese's Pieces.
They look like
minis. Can I just say that the use of the spinning chair and stuff like that as a transition, like in the video, you know, was just brilliant as well.
Judge Dredd is my hero. Murder, Death, Kill is not from Judge Dredd. It's from Demolition Man.
But I was going to say that. You should have gave me a second.
I'm sorry. But, but I did love Judge Dredd as well.
We still only use shells in the washroom.
Yeah, the 3 shells.
Yeah, if we haven't figured out how to use them.
No,
but we still use them. As they're walking, as Din, I have trouble saying his name, by the way.
Din Djarin.
Yeah, Din Laden. So as they're walking, actually, as they're in the meeting, they get interrupted. There's pirates.
Yeah.
There's pirates.
And you know what? As soon as I heard pirates, my first thought
Johnny Depp. I know. I'm sorry.
My second thought was Hondo Ohnaka. Because if you're familiar with Star Wars and the canon stuff that's going on right now, Hondo Ohnaka is your immediate thought when you think of pirates.
Your go-to pirate.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we get
a small group of pirates sent to town to cause a ruckus at what used to be a bar but is now a school.
Right.
And we get Van.
What?
Van Wilder.
Yeah.
Or sorry, Vane.
Write that down.
It's Vane. Truly, though,
I was super excited to see this dude. Because Hondo Ohnaka was a Nikto like vein, and
Which?
a
Pardon me?
Nikto, a Nikto,
Watch your mouth.
Nikto.
Watch your mouth.
And then the fun part about it was like the who's who of alien species that have been smugglers or pirates or whatever. You have like Transdoshans in there who were like slave traders and stuff like that. The lizard guys are Transdoshans.
Yeah.
So it was just it
My
was a fun scene for
apologies
me.
for not knowing every
Yeah, I'm sorry.
race in the Star Wars galaxies. You know,
I don't know all of them.
You just shun me if you'd like. You know, mock me if you will.
Well,
But
some
I
people
do
got
not
it.
know the names of the races in these. All right, I don't.
You should know.
I should. I like the Star Wars universe is so vast, and learning about it is fun. But there's a lot out there, right? This character though, the mask or the prosthetics or whatever they're using there, I am a huge fan of the look of this character. You know, I'm just in love with the look of this character, the way the mouth moves, and so, there we go. Now who was that? Was that you?
That was. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it.
It does matter actually, because one of you was fired. Awesome character though, as short lived that we get to see him type deal. I'm not saying short lived because he's unalived, but
no, he was not.
He's not unalived, obviously, but I just like him as a character. Right? They're messing around. They're messing about.
I'm thinking we're gonna get more of him because of those later scenes with jog my memory.
Swamp Thing?
Swamp Thing, Gorian Shard.
Right.
I think that Vane might be like his kind of right hand
second
man.
Yeah. They're messing about, right? They're refusing to leave the what now to be school.
Yes.
Right? They want drinks served to them. And the magistrate, what's his name? I'm terrible at
Grief Karga.
Grief Karga. It's a weird name to say.
Well, call him Grief. Grief
all right?
is it's the
so
thing.
Grief.
Yeah.
It turns into John Wayne.
John Wayne.
All right. Shows his pistol.
Yes.
All right. Takes out like everybody but him.
He does no. They kind of threaten each other and then they stop.
Yeah, they have a little showdown.
Yeah.
And what I like is that there's Din in the background there, just kind of keeping an eye out.
Yeah.
You know, he's just there looking to be backup, right?
I like how he stands up on the I think you've gone soft.
Yeah.
And, oh yeah?
Yeah, I don't think he has actually, but
so everybody's ready.
But you know, great character, great encounter.
Yes. I'm looking forward to more of those encounters with the pirates too.
Yeah, they're fun, and from what I've seen in the Clone Wars series, I always enjoyed the episodes where we got to see them.
I love like Hondo is one of my favorite characters in the animated stuff. Like he's a great all around character. Yeah, and I think he's in Clone Wars, right?
That's where I met him
as a younger Hondo, and then I believe I'm almost 100% positive. Yes, he is definitely in Rebels as well.
Yeah, again, I haven't made it there yet, so we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, way to spoil it.
I'm sorry.
All right,
but he's definitely one of my favorite characters across several series.
So Din's got to take off again. He's got to leave.
Yes,
because
he needs a part. He needs that part.
The goal of finding that chip.
Yeah.
Right. Because I don't know what part IG IG-11 is going to play in the future of this season, but I will tell you, okay, I will tell you that I was absolutely 100% excited to see this guy back, and leave in the comments, leave in the comments if you agree with me, but I loved this droid.
I did too. Like I
Okay.
said, when that self-destruct piece happened, I was like, no, because I was like, oh, like this is Mandalorian's droid,
Yeah.
right?
Like
And
he earned that respect.
yeah, and
You know?
any it doesn't matter if you're playing a Star Wars show that doesn't have Jedi. To me, I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
You can step away from the whole Jedi Order piece or the Sith and this and that, but every crew has to have a solid droid, and even if it's a gonk droid like in the Bad Batch, that is one of those like boxy waddles around. You just
Dumb
have to have
droids.
you just have to have a droid.
Well, that's the thing is like I can do without a Jedi in these shows because but like I don't know how many times I have just fallen for the droids.
Mm,
Like in what was that big clunky yellow droid?
big clunky yellow droid. Oh, in
The big like lifter
yeah,
droid.
yes, yeah. I can't remember its name or its code,
But
but
like I loved that thing.
yeah, yeah,
Like and often droids are like they have very little humanity, but often sacrifice themselves.
yeah. They're the best parts of the Star Wars world.
Like droids are awesome. Even the little cleaner bots, the garbage cans.
Oh, and speaking of droids, I loved I loved the cape carrying droids for
Oh
grief.
yeah, because he's stepped up in society, and now he needs to overdo the wardrobe.
Yeah,
So he needs little bots to struggle to up and down stairs.
obviously.
So yeah. So we were saying that Grogu and the Mandalorian, they've
Yeah.
got to take off to find this chip. They leave the planet, okay, and lo and behold,
It's a trap.
pirates,
It's a trap.
and I couldn't again. Pictures just don't justify a scene. Okay,
Mm-mm.
try finding a good picture of this chase, right?
Oh, it really, it comes in second to the Obi-Wan Kenobi chase with Leia.
Yeah, that's it's hard to beat
It almost
a bunch of
was
people.
there.
It's hard to beat a bunch of people comically running into branches and stuff, right?
Like an
give
old Benny Hill
give it a
skit.
rest. It's the Three Stooges.
It
All
was
right,
good.
they chase him down.
Bad choice.
He outmaneuvers them like crazy.
Because first of all, Vane was the only survivor of the confrontation between Grief and Din Djarin, and then now
Now he's
like, oh,
got
I'm
like
gonna
another, just the
come in,
backup crew, the B crew
take
come
you
in,
out.
right? Here comes the B crew.
And more of that who's who of smugglers and bad dudes. It was good.
But as well as he evades them,
He cranks them out, kills them.
right? Doesn't matter. It was all a trap.
That's right, because
It was all a
Vane
trap.
still leads him in.
It's all a trap because he leads them to Thanos' ship.
What?
All right.
Thanos' ship. I guess it
Yeah.
kind of does have a semblance.
Yeah,
Now
he
tell
leads them
me,
to Thanos.
tell me if you're a Star Wars fan, like a Star Wars maybe over fan,
Enthusiast?
if this doesn't look like an old Republic Thranticlass heavy cruiser.
First off, watch your mouth. This is a family-friendly channel.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I don't need you talking like that.
I'm sorry.
Like if you're just gonna talk gibberish, then I have no clue what
We're
you
talking.
just said.
We're talking Star Wars.
All right.
90% gibberish.
Yeah. Just make it up
So-
as you go. Lucas did.
So if you're watching, like 1, 2, and 3, they have what become kind of the starting of the rebels. They have these cruisers that aren't the Empire ships, which
There's
they
a
kind of look
question
like that.
for you there.
Who
Sorry to
wins?
interrupt you, but this is a solid question and it needs to be answered.
Okay.
Your brain is blowing up right now. Like you've got that little stress mark that anime shows have.
Is my vein showing?
You've got to pick now.
First of all, I love their portrait.
Yeah,
It's
good job, great job.
fantastic. Boba or Jango? That's a hard jam, and we're gonna go like Boba Prime and Jango Prime,
Oh, of course.
obviously. Oh man,
I'm waiting.
I'm gonna. Boba is a solid badass, but I'm going to go and flow into Jango.
I'm enjoying
Because
your process and I enjoy watching you struggle with this. And I thank you very much for asking this question.
Because Jango got taken out by a Jedi. He went down to fight Jedi, got taken out by a Jedi, and at one point we all thought that Boba had been taken out by a blind Han Solo who accidentally hit his jetpack. and he fell into a Sarlacc pit.
Yeah.
And I just feel like Jango wouldn't have had that.
I feel like at this point we've spent a lot more time with Boba. Obviously, we've grown to love him a bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not that we didn't already, right?
Well, I mean, Boba, you get more in. I don't know how far along again you are in the Clone Wars, but Boba does come in like in and out of the Clone Wars.
Is it really a spoiler?
I hope not.
At this point, like if you haven't seen it, it's your own fault. It's my own fault. Right? You can't spoil things anymore. I gotta go with Boba personally. What do you think? Honestly,
Yeah.
like I'm asking the chat. What do you think? You know,
hit us up. Let us
know. Let's carry on. Let's wrap this up. So we were saying he gets lured to the Thanos ship.
Yes.
All right. Which is occupied by the head pirate, you'd say, right?
Yes, he's the head pirate.
Yeah.
Swamp
Thing.
Mm-hmm.
Swamp. I don't know why I say Swamp Thing, like it's ain't no thing.
Swamp Thing.
You get a little bit of southern swamp. You go Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing, or another reference being Davy
Jones. Yeah.
Now, when he walked out, there was definitely a Davy Jones vibe.
Yes.
All right. But then, you know, me being a comic book fan, I got to go with the Swamp Thing reference. All right. The Swamp Thing. All right.
See, I didn't even pick up on Swamp Thing. And I think that this still that you have is more well lit than the show even.
Yeah, I did a good job then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Is this a threatening character?
Well, yeah, anybody who's made of like
lettuce,
seaweed and lettuce and kale, I'm threatened.
You
I
know,
feel like he's going to try and make me vegan, and I don't like it.
I just can't see this being a big baddie in this show. You know, this is a minor inconvenience. All right. Um, what do we even get from this character other than he steps into the
He's
he
the
steps
Pirate King,
steps
man.
around. He's the Pirate King. Okay. Give me more.
That's all
What's he
we've
do?
got. He's an
All right.
original character for the like. I don't know what to give you. Pirate
All
King.
right. He's the Swamp Thing. All right. What even happens here? Like,
He gets upset and talks, and he's like, "I'm gonna get you," and then
and then
Mando is
Mandalorian's like, no, you ain't.
nah,
I
and
just
then
outmaneuvered your boys. I'll outmaneuver you too.
he just hyperspaces his way out.
Yeah. Boom. Right. Where's he heading?
He's heading
Not Swamp
to.
Thing. Swamp Thing is heading to a
Well, he's just gonna sit there and be
pirate
really angry.
meeting. Swamp Thing is he's actually going to find some booty.
Is he?
Yeah.
Like what
That's
kind
as
of
far as
booty?
booty. You know,
Like,
like a pirate's booty.
oh, okay, okay, all right.
Monies.
Oh, money.
Yeah. It's his shit. So the whole point of this episode is to further along the story of him trying to find the elaborate springs of Mandalore,
Yes.
that the under the mines of the Mandalorian world or whatever. Not
Mhm.
world. You know what I'm talking about.
The
Okay.
mines of Moria,
Yeah.
the dwarven mine, where the Balrog
So
came from.
he's gone to a Mandalorian castle, is what they've referred to it as. Okay. Where is this?
So that's Kalevala. I'm probably pronouncing
Butchering that a
poorly.
little?
Yeah. But it's the seat of power for House Kryze, which is Bo-Katan's house.
Okay, so
I want to say
he's
it's Bo-Katan's house. Somebody could correct me if I'm wrong.
now he's walking down the hallways of this, and the reason why I took this shot, like I'm acting like I actually took this shot,
Yeah, you were
um,
there.
it was one of my most admired shots. Okay. It definitely, the shape of the hallway is reminiscent of the shape of the helmet. Okay.
Yep.
And I just think it's cool and clever the way they do things like that.
Mhm.
And you know, and it's fun, right?
I like it. I like it.
Like I like it a lot.
I like it a lot. You know what else I like? This thumbnail. So
It's a
good.
nice thumbnail.
It's Darth Nihilus. That's what it looks like. The mask. But anyway. Go
We
ahead.
are. Oh,
Oh.
who's that?
That's Bo.
That's my bow. All right. This is who is residing here.
Yeah.
It appears that she is alone. Like, did the
Nobody
rest
else.
of the crew, did they bounce?
She came out with no dark saber, and whatever that fleet was that they stole earlier.
Well, doesn't I thought he had the saber?
He has the saber.
Yes,
Bo-Katan doesn't.
that's what I'm saying.
Everybody was following Bo-Katan because she was out to get the saber. That was her goal.
Has
And now
she
they
given
were like,
up?
well, she seems pretty shitty in this scene.
Like she's not having a good time.
No, she's depressed. She's upset.
All right, so he's come to her for her help to get down to the Mandalorian planet. Okay,
Yeah.
we've come from a point where she and her crew came to Din with belief that the planet was safe.
Yeah.
Right now, we've gone a completely different direction where, because at the time he was like, no way,
No.
the place is a poisonous death trap. Now we've swapped roles here.
Mm-hmm.
Now she doesn't believe and he does.
Well, because she's all angry because she didn't get the Darksaber.
She's pouting then.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, she's had a rough life. She was, her sister ruled Mandalore. She was like a secondary, and now she was like, I'm gonna go get this Darksaber and bring Mandalore, or the Mandalorian people, back to their former glory. And then this asshole that is following the Death Watch, who she doesn't believe in, because they were part of the reason that she believes they were part of the reason that Mandalore fell in the first place, and they're adhering to these old beliefs and this and that, now has the Darksaber. So she's all shitty. She's not happy.
This is just that was a fantastic explanation that you ended off with. She's all shitty. I just love it when you just take this poetic thing that you're saying and then just flush it down the toilet is what you just did.
She's all shitty.
But this is a character that you learn most of what you learn about her is in the animated series.
Yeah.
Right?
You get a ton.
So this is something that I need to do, is a task that I give myself, is to catch up on stuff like that.
You get a ton of like Mandalore history in general through the animated series.
I think I like, out of a lot of the Star Wars lore and stuff like that, and story, I think the Mandalorian stuff really intrigues me a lot, like over a lot of other stuff.
Is that because it was I believe it was a Stan Lee thing.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure.
Normally it's me who knows that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it is. Maybe subconsciously.
Sure in like the year I was born. I think
it's not that old, is it?
I think Mandalore and Mandalorians were built for the comic series by Stan Lee.
That's probably why. Then that's probably why. It's subconsciously, I'm a comic book guy, and
he was trying to build backstory stuff for Boba Fett. I think.
Well, I'm gonna have to look into that then. Yeah, that's pretty much where we leave it off.
Yeah. It was a really flat ending for me, by the way. If I'm gonna be honest, I was waiting for more, and it just
dropped off.
Yeah.
Right.
Like they should have done like a 2-episode opening, like Last of Us.
You know what? You're right. I like when they do that. I like when they put a double whammy on you. I feel like, am I wrong, or were these always short episodes? Because this felt short.
It felt short. How long was the episode?
It was 30-something minutes.
Yeah.
Or if not like just a smidge over 30 minutes.
So it was almost
like a half-hour show, and I don't.
It's like watching Young Sheldon.
I think I could use more. When we have shows like, again, The Last of Us, which is near an hour and stuff. I think that in this day and age, we're done with the half-hour shows.
Yeah, unless I'm watching like a comedy sitcom. I don't want to
or like an animated series or something like that, right? This is the kind of show where you can give us more.
Yeah.
you know, and I believe that. I want more. Obviously, when you're watching something you enjoy, you want more,
I want more.
right? I want more.
I need more
All right. So,
Mandalorian.
do we know how many episodes we have of this series season?
I don't know if they've said or
Announced that?
not. But I'm sure we'll get a solid between 9 and 12.
Yeah, as long as they don't do 6, I'm fine.
You know what?
All
I
right.
do have more than a half an hour in the evening, and I'm sure Nerdy Couch does as well.
I will make time. All
So
right.
my evening routine is to watch a solid hour of television to an hour and a half in the evening after my children go to bed. So Mandalorian, fill that space.
You know, look, if I can make room for The Last of Us, which fantastic show.
Ugh. We'll be
If
back
you
tomorrow,
wanna,
by the
if you
way.
wanna join us tomorrow night, we'll have that's already been posted actually.
Yep.
Just go over there, you know, save it up, and we'll be talking about The Last of Us. Another Pascal
Ugh.
show.
He's
just killing it.
He's the man right now.
Just killing it. You know, he's just nowhere and then he's everywhere.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So anyway, what do you say?
I think that's it.
You know, we don't want to keep you guys too long. We do appreciate you coming.
I'm just gonna keep pulling up this comment because that person's
it's
picture.
bothering you that much.
No, I love it that much.
It's the perfect question.
Well, the perfect question, and then their profile pic is Darth Nihilus. So, you know they're a Star Wars fan.
I'm a fan of this person now.
Yeah,
that's all
they're not messing around. They're not
messing around.
They're not just throwing out questions willy nilly. They've
asking the serious questions, making you sweat. All right, I
want their answer as well.
Yeah, I would love to hear the answer. I just like it when people make you sweat like a pony, and you know, that's all there is to it. Thanks a lot, guys, for coming. Thanks for joining us on this lovely Friday evening.
Yes,
where if you are anywhere near us, you don't want to be outside.
No, so
so you might as well have just stuck around with us and hung out with us. Make sure you give this a. Oh yeah, did we need to rate this?
I think we do. Those are the rules, but I don't have bananas.
I don't either. We can put a banana up.
That's
because it is bananas.
Yes, I agree.
As far as the previous seasons go,
yeah.
Where does this sit for you?
Sorry.
What did you do with Grimm?
I'm going to give it a 8.5.
You were going to give it a 6, Darth.
I wasn't in it anywhere.
Well done. All I have is a Casey Jones mask. So I mean, just wrong genre. 8, huh? That gives you
8.5.
8.5. It gives you a little bit of wiggle room.
Yeah.
I can't say it's my favorite. I can't say it's my favorite by any means. I gotta reel myself back if I'm being honest, because The Last of Us has got me giving 10s, and I love you, Pascal, but I gotta drop this down to an 8.
That's fair.
I think that's a fair score for this. It was a good episode.
Mm-hmm.
Felt short, was short, dropped off at the end like
it felt like they could have given us a little more jam. Like
it felt like they didn't end it.
No. It didn't feel like
it was The Sopranos.
even when you end with a cliffhanger, you still have to have a cliffhanger, and it just
Yeah.
felt.
You know
It
what I
felt
think would have
awkward.
done it? You know what I think would have done it is a post-credit scene.
Yeah,
Would have
Yeah.
just made it feel a little more finished
yeah,
and gave you a little bit of something to hold on to and make you go, I can't wait.
yep.
Right? Did it
I
give
agree.
you, did the ending of this give you that I can't wait feeling?
I mean, I generally can't wait because it's the Mandalorian, but did that end scene give me the can't
Did the
wait
end scene
feeling?
create that for you though? Not me.
No.
Right? I want to see what happens next. I want to see, I'm excited to see IG back
Yeah.
up in order and stuff like that. Who's not? Come on. Right? So, you know, I'm not hard to please when it comes to this show.
Right.
Right?
Or
So,
Pascal.
you know, he's dreamy.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, everybody, thank you very much for coming. What are you doing?
Like, subscribe, notifications, comment,
Share.
Not the share. If I could find a way. All right, guys.
Take care.
That's all the time.
And you know, we love you. Peaches.
Peace. Love you guys. Get out of here.
Looks like a booty.